I'm Robert Gardner. You guys know me. And Simon, go ahead and introduce yourself.
So guys, my name is Simon Briscoe, massage therapist here in Austin, Texas. Been practicing for about 2 years.
Yeah. So you and I met at the job fair at Lauderstein Conway.
Yep.
And I think mainly you saw like the presentation I gave, which is here on YouTube, by the way. Yeah, and then it was just a week ago or something. You can find the video. But you, I guess, were more impressed by the talk that I gave, and then came up just to discuss shop with me.
Yes. So I work for myself. Grateful to say, and I met with so I just moved to South Austin, and I've been living in North Austin. So I'm rebuilding my clientele. And I'd met with like 3 other people before that, and we sat down over lunch, talking for like an hour each person about social media. And the things you said in the 20 minutes actually really I found more valuable than all the other lunch sessions. So yeah, some of the things that really stood out to me was just the understanding of the fact that as massage therapists, and it's probably unique to our field, massage is personal, and it is a one-on-one type thing, and it's not like we have a business that so I had been
Your business is you.
Yeah, I am my business. I am marketing myself. I am my brand. So I had, based off the advice I had from other people, which was separate myself and my, saying it now actually makes no sense. Like, how do you?
So in social media, having a personal account, having a business account.
Yes. Yeah. And which I knew was going to be very hard for me, because I had this idea that I can to only post my professional account super educational things. I can't. That's just too much volume of stuff. But realizing that I'm building a relationship with my clients, and being able to cross-pollinate between clients and people I know, and just have it all on one account, so much easier, and it just made so much more sense.
Yeah, I think it'll work differently for different people depending on how they use, if they have a personal Facebook account where they put photos for their, parents so the grandkids can see it or whatever. But I definitely think that your social media accounts need to be personal in some ways, just because you are interacting very specifically with your clients. They want to know you. And the reason I like social media is because it gives people a chance to see my face, hear my voice, and they build a more personal connection at a distance.
Get a taste of your personality.
Yeah.
It's funny because after our talk, I was like, oh, yes, transparency. I actually started, I kind of went a little bit too far, and I started making videos so today, guys, I just started, so I think there is a line somewhere there, but because at one point I was well guys, I just moved to South Austin, and I'm rebuilding my clientele, and the first thing I need to do is I gotta figure out what's the one most important thing for me to do, and I think for this week it's finding an office, something like that. I think that's okay, but I think some posts I made, I had to go back later and delete them after I showed them to a few people to get.
Because you didn't like it.
Yeah. It was just
Well, I think also people think of when this video winds up on YouTube, people sometimes think of it as permanent, but the thing is, this is only a page in your Moby Dick, of thousands and thousands of pages. So I wouldn't get overly concerned about, I wore the right shirt in this one or not that one, or, I said this, or if I flub my voice and, miscommunicate or whatever. It actually adds, I think, what people pick up on is a sort of authenticity. It's not Hollywood anymore. It's a camera. It's a phone, If I'm in class and I take out my phone and start recording, they're like, he's recording. And I'm like, what's a problem? And they're like, we don't like being on camera. And I'm like, why? And they're like, I don't know. I just don't like people seeing me. And I'm like, okay, so you're a massage therapist. You don't want people to see you. If people don't see you, how do they buy your services?
Right,
And that's the thing. They don't understand that they're fundamentally fighting themselves. But when you get feedback, what's your guess as to the sort of feedback you're going to get? Just take a guess. Because we'll be able to see this later.
Yeah, good feedback.
And what are they going to say?
Interesting.
You're at a party.
Yeah.
You run into a friend. They've seen this float through your feed.
Cool video, dude. It was so awesome getting to see you talk about massage, because no one does that. So you're
exactly. So the thing is, do people who are your friends think you're more professional?
Yeah.
Because they saw a video.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Credibility. Credibility.
It made you credible because we're what, in tie-fisherman pants and a t-shirt talking.
Yeah. No, absolutely. That was the biggest thing for me after your talk. I was like, it just made so much sense to me. It's like I meet people all the time, and if I can just say, hey, follow me on Instagram. You know, when they're in that state, right, that they're ready to make a hot cognition, and they're ready, like you talk to them a little bit, and they're motivated. That motivation may not stay with them until they book a session. But if you can use that motivation to get them to follow your Instagram and see the videos, boom, credibility. And especially with girls, that's just a big thing.
Oh, okay. So female clients, that's true.
Absolutely.
Okay.
So because I feel that all the time. Like I'll talk to female clients, possible female clients, and they're like, I'm able to drop some knowledge, and they're like, oh, they're motivated. You can tell. Yeah. But obviously, 2 days, a week later, they're still like, So credibility.
Then I'm going to give you an idea of how that process works for me. It's very common. Massage therapists often don't like this, by the way. I think this is an interesting piece for conversation. How do you feel when people at a party ask you to work on them? Because they find out you're a massage therapist, and they're like, oh, you work on my back? How do you feel about that?
It depends on my mood. Sometimes it does get old, for sure.
Yeah, because you're off work.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah, for sure. I swear,
So here's what I do. I love it. I love it. And here's why. Because I'm going to do Thai stuff, which is clothed. So what's going to happen is I'm going to take that young lady, I'm going to work on her. I'm going to hold my beer in one hand and use it as a prop and like be pressing on her neck or whatever. She's seated. And here's what happens. 9 times out of 10, there's some guy at the party who gets inordinately jealous. Because he's like, oh, man. Yeah. Why?
Because he wants to be able to roll on her.
Exactly. So what I do is, after I work on her, and if I establish through like subtle cues that it's okay, I'll be like, hey man, come here. And I'll show him how to do it. And then I'll grab another person. And then all of a sudden you're teaching everybody just a little bit. Yeah. To get them to work on each other and open up, because that's mainly what we deal with. It's not just massage, it's touch, and it's intimacy, and that's why he gets a little, because he wants to be intimate, he has intimacy needs, and and the thing is, we feel like we have a license, quote unquote. Yeah. But here's the thing: beyond that, what I say is, listen, guys, everybody has problems, like right up here, and a lot of it's just from slouching forward. But listen, if you follow me on my Instagram channel, I'll send you a link. There's a YouTube video where I show you how to use a tennis ball to work on this. Yeah. And all it did was open the door, because now they can contact me. I can send them a link, and now what I'm doing is I'm referring them back to my YouTube channel. It becomes an online resource, a library of educational materials that refers back to what? Me. Yeah. And here's the thing: I didn't say come get a massage. You should come get a session with me.
It was
you
no hard
sell. No.
It was like a very soft.
And here's the thing: granted, I'm 40, I'm married, totally different. You're 23?
Yeah.
You have a girlfriend?
No.
Okay. So when you talk to girls at a party and they find out you're a massage therapist, do they want a massage or do they want to go on a date with you?
Both.
Exactly. And it's really confusing, right? Because I dealt with that. I started when I was 25, I think.
Yeah, it is definitely. Figuring out how to navigate that territory is an ongoing.
But the thing is, when you make videos like this, what happens is your credentials, and people understand that you're a professional. And when I say, hey, you can use a tennis ball, you can work on yourself, and then I kind of just, exit, I think it leaves it open to them to make that decision and distinction. And I also spread myself around, because I didn't just work on one, young lady or whatever for, an hour at a party or something.
Right. You get to...
The one thing you said about a pec release video, it's like, the thing is, the information that we provide is not unknown, in my opinion. The thing is, what the public hasn't seen is your pec release video. And your pec release video...
That's a good point. Yeah.
Doesn't have your panache, your style, your flair, your directions, your anatomy cues.
True.
Yeah. And the thing is, I think also what happens is people not only get a chance to connect with you, but most people are just not on YouTube. We're like, oh, a pec release video, that's interesting. To other people are like, the what? A pec, what's that? Right. So the thing is, it gives us a chance to take something that people think of as very complex and say, listen, nah, your pecs are just like a big muscle, like you guys who lift weights, you know, and it connects and then comes over. And a lot of people's are tight and they kind of shorten forward. So we're going to show you a way of releasing that muscle. Yeah. Simplifying it that way makes our industry more approachable. And also what it means is it feels like we're not really making content for other professionals.
Right.
We're making content to help the public understand what it is we do. And to them, it's magic.
Yeah, and also, even if they have seen it, seeing you in it still gives you credibility. Like,
sure.
At the end of the day, I feel like.
Yeah, I wouldn't be worried about, you know,
yeah.
I mean, you don't want content to be boring, but I wouldn't be worried about, oh, well, that's already information that exists out there. It's like, yeah, but if you make it easier and you make it more accessible, you know, I shoot videos for Instagram. Those videos are a minute long. Sometimes I'm copying content that I've already released in a longer form that's on YouTube. So, but now it's available in a minute.
Yeah.
And if it's available on their phone, they're like in the waiting room at the doctor's office and they're like, whoa, he taught me how to use a tennis ball to like work on my glute. That was awesome. And they build that rapport with you digitally.
Yeah.
And that rapport digitally, not only it just like runs in a ticker tape in the background with your potential clients, where it's like, it might be a couple months later and they go, oh man, I haven't made an appointment with Simon. I need to, and then they can on Instagram go, yo, Simon, video. We talked about that, right?
Yes.
And that's what they don't understand. It's like they're fighting social media in a way that doesn't make any sense to me in my industry. Because if the client can video, because they don't have to even text. They can just go, hey, Simon, do you have anything available next week? You know, I saw your video or whatever.
Yeah.
It's like, how do you feel about,
true.
you know, getting a client through Instagram?
It's true. You know, so I was thinking to myself, like, at this point, moving forward, every time a client comes for a massage, I need to ask them, hey, do you have an Instagram? But there is a little apprehension, to not lie. Like, there's like a But when I really think it through, I think it just makes sense. And
what's the apprehension?
Just because it is so, I just know like that little voice in your head that says no one else is, like all your peers aren't doing this, being other.
You know why? Because all your peers are dinosaurs.
Absolutely, I agree. That's why I'm going to do it anyways. I really do think that it makes sense.
But the thing is, if you, and this is what this content of that talk was talking about, if you embrace social media and you start actively, you know, slowly, you don't have to make it uncomfortable. Just start with Facebook, make an Instagram video, you know, like build a YouTube channel, go slow, do it in a way that's comfortable to you. You're finding your own voice. Over the course of time, people look at you like you're the expert.
Yeah.
And they esteem you more highly. And here's the thing, when you use that as a marketing tool and they're not, guess who wins?
Me.
I had a lady yesterday schedule an appointment. I don't know who it is. I don't know where she found me. The only thing it said on the online scheduler was word of mouth. And it's like, some lady is going to come in and get a session with me and pay me $240 a session. I'll make YouTube videos all day long. Like, it works.
That's my plan.
Long term.
Yep. Yeah. I have actually 2 videos scheduled this week to make due to your inspiration. I got a friend coming in. I was hanging out with an old friend who's about to graduate massage school, and he's like, hey man, what do you do with shoulders? I got to be working out. And I was like, I'd love to tell you, but let's shoot a video and I'll just tell you.
Now you're doubling up. See?
Right.
Because you're answering his need, but then you're creating more content that then you then store and preserve, and that's the way it works.
And the second video, which I'm even more excited about, is I have Ryan, who is my friend, who's a big athlete. I mean, he's like 6'1", but just really thick.
Robust.
Physically, for massage therapists, we're intimidated by people that are big because everyone learns, and this maybe is for another talk, but everyone learns to view the world of massage through the paradigm of Swedish, and that is a terrible paradigm to treat athletes because, in my opinion, because if you're going to take my friend Ryan and his quads are tight because he does a bunch of squats and all the quads are adhered together and there's just not good blood flow, you can put all the levels in him you want. You're gonna have a incredibly difficult time giving him the release he needs. So the work that I've been learning, that I've been doing for the past few years, is also addressed, and it's a lot easier. So I was gonna do a video just showing people how I work on quads and showing in real time this big guy with big quads how it can actually be a lot easier. So
so you make that video, you share that through your personal Facebook. You share that through your business Facebook, right? Where else do you post it?
Snippets of it on Instagram.
Instagram, okay.
I don't have a Twitter.
So what I would do is I would go to Facebook groups in Austin, so like Austin massage therapist.
That too. I was definitely.
And it's like it's just to like float a video through, just creates exposure, right? You're looking for more views. The other thing is what I find interesting is like if you start to make good content. So it's not like me having you here. It's not just to provide me content. It's to get you to share the video through your pages and create this cross promotion, right? But if you start making great content, I share it on my Facebook page, and I link it through my email list. It's got 9,000 people on it all around the world. And the thing is, can you get 10 more YouTube followers? And that's what I mean. That's what you're really trying to do. It's not just for people in Austin and not just to get a client. You're accessing Google and you're accessing search engine optimization by putting that video on YouTube. And if you title the video, you know, I don't know a lot about like SEO for keywords for YouTube videos specifically, but if you say like massage for, you know, athletes, a massage for muscle-bound clients, massage for, you know, whatever the keywords would be for people big and bulky.
I think it makes so much sense. It just makes so much sense.
But it's nerve-wracking to kind of put yourself out there.
You know, honestly, I'm ready to just do it. Like, you know, you gave that talk, I think it was last Friday, and I haven't had like, you know, it hasn't been too long, enough time for me to just start doing it. But once your talk just really removed the roadblock that I had to making videos and stuff. But now I have ideas popping up all the time.
And all you do is you tweak it. And you tweak it based on response. Because you'll make, you know, you might make bodywork videos and they do okay, but then you make a food video or with a recipe, and then all of a sudden you get like tons of views, and you're like, hey, I need to make another one of those.
Right. Because at the end of the day, having a following is powerful. That is a powerful force that you can channel in any direction. It gives you freedom to it's true. Building a big following really.
Some people I talk to are afraid to give stuff away. They're afraid to give away information. They're afraid to give away content. They're afraid to give away the secrets. And what I think really happens is whatever you give away, the audience at home always assumes that your cup is so full it just overflows. And they're just getting the stuff that overflows. They're not even in the cup.
True.
Makes sense?
Makes
and the thing is, it creates a sort of prosperity mentality when you give stuff away and give stuff away. Like I've got so like when I gave away my free workbook, people were like, oh my God, I can't believe you're giving this away. And it was like, well, it's now I've written 650 other pages that I sell. It's like, this was nothing. That's 54. I mean, it was good. It's a quality workbook. There's solid information there, but it's like, it's not even scratching what the depth.
Right.
Like it's, you know, I started that 6 years ago. I'm still producing new content and people are like, oh, this is broader than we thought it was. And
I mean, how many times do you meet a therapist who's been in the field 2 decades? And it's like, regardless of what they do, they've learned some really deep level stuff. And it's like, in the time we live in now, it just makes sense to be chronicling that, you know.
Most people in the United States, because that's primarily our market and who we're dealing with, most people in the U.S. do not receive massage regularly. So let's say 5% of the population, I don't know what the real statistics are, let's say 5% of the population receives a massage with any regularity in the U.S. Massage therapists feel like they're now competing for the same 5%. And I'm like, why don't you go educate the other 95%? Like, who do we interact with on a daily basis do we think doesn't need a massage or couldn't benefit from it?
No one.
Exactly, but the thing is, it's like Massage Envy is already at the helm as a big mass chain, you know, delivering massage. But now there's room for people like us who are small, young upstarts to like diversify. Because you're talking to me about this kind of niche, kind of specialized work you're doing. And my curiosity's piqued because I'm like, wow, what's he doing? I don't know.
I do want to work with you later. Yeah, it's cool, man. Yeah, I think it just makes so much sense. I've said that like 20 times, but...
Well, when it feels weird when other people in our industry aren't making content, I got to a point in the massage industry where I stopped listening to other massage therapists to get business advice.
Yeah, that's what I'm.
And I looked at
finding.
successful businesses.
Yep.
And successful business owners. And I said, what are they doing? Like, this guy owns a gym. What's he doing? Yeah. Tons of videos, tons of workout, like, hey, this is your quads and this is stability and core strength. And I'm like, wow, why is there such like a stark contrast with other industries in massage?
It's true, and I mean, you know, because it's that touch, and people feel like you're getting intimate with them, that you can't. Because when you go to school, the huge thing they talk about, I remember it, they hammer it, and it as you know, ethics and boundaries, and
sure.
It is a totally valid part of massage. However, I feel like, and then of course you go get a job out of school, and it's like you can't no contact with your clients outside of the job, because obviously some people
take advantage or abuse that.
But at the end of the day, you know, that's just the choice you have to use it for. But the possibility of what you could use it for is just so much larger that, you know, it just makes sense. Yeah, I mean, so, you know, I was operating out of that viewpoint that I got in school, which was like boundaries and like if you had them on Instagram, like blah blah blah. But it's like no, because especially working for yourself, I mean, yeah, it's just so personal. And you know, my clients, the fact of the matter is, right, that I can have boundaries and still have my clients. My clients are my friends, like, and I'm not going to go and have a beer with my clients, but you know, I can add them on Instagram. You know, it's like.
Yeah, I think it's a slightly different mindset, and I think some of the old guard in the industry might disagree with that in some ways. But I think socially things have changed pretty fundamentally. And when I remember I did this very specifically at Lauderstein Conway when I asked David Lauderstein how he felt about email. And the reason I did that is because the technology has shifted so much. You used to deal with everything for like written letters. You know, and now this new thing came along and it's email. And it had to be daunting for people where they're like, is this real? Like, you know, and then the thing is, it became so efficient, like that everybody uses it.
Yeah.
You know, only people who are like elderly at this stage don't use email, right? Yeah. So the thing is, like, we've gotten used to like having email contact with clients. But for some people, they're like, oh, this is
right.
Weird or whatever. Yeah.
Absolutely. 10 years from now, it's going to be like, yeah, Instagram. Does.
Oh, yeah. Like, or whatever video interface.
I don't have an email, yeah.
Yeah, whatever video interface.
Yeah, my generation, honestly, I didn't use email. I had to get an email. Literally, not till I got out of massage school and actually started communicating with massage employers did I really have to regularly check my email. Yeah. So... yeah, I'm sure it'll be.
So I think we'll go ahead and wrap this video up. Here's a question for you. Okay. So the audience at home is watching this video, and this is YouTube. So it's anybody on Earth, right? What question would you want the audience at home to answer? Like, what question do you have that you want an answer for them so they can give you comments below?
Okay. For those of you who have not ever had massage, have you thought about it? And what's held you back? Or what's held you back? Or what's been the reason that you haven't
gotten their first massage? Yeah. Cool. I think it's a great question. I'd love to see how people respond to that if they run across our content. Did you see the video that Jim Gaffigan did recently? Mm-mm. There was a big uproar because Jim Gaffigan, as a comic, did something about massage and how, I mean, he's totally skewering the massage industry and about how there's not enough intimacy to get your family members to massage you, so you have to get this other person to pay them money to touch your grossness or whatever. And people were getting like upset about it, and I'm like, he's a comic. Yeah. Like, have you seen his work? Like, he jokes about all kinds of stuff, you know? Yeah.
I have a better question. When you get massage, because I think most of you have probably gotten
Number
massage.
2.
When you get massage, what's your favorite body part to get massaged?
Oh, okay. Yeah. So cool.
Yeah.
Good for today. We'll see you again soon, man.
Thank you.
Thanks for coming in.
Yeah, thanks for having me. It's been great.